Welcome to today's webinar on the new era in support WhatsApp chatbot. So before we start, let's actually take a look at what we will be covering today. So first, we will start with the chat revolution, and we will take a close look how AI is currently reshaping everything about customer support and in general customer communication. And then we specifically will take a look at artificial intelligence and WhatsApp and how we kind of leverage this superpower duo in your business for customer support. Then we will jump into our product, into Superchat, and actually will take a look how we kind of can build a chatbot that's like powered by AI to actually use in your business for support to fully automate your entire customer support. And then last but not least, we will have an open Q&A round. So if there are any questions, you can also use our chat here on the right-hand side during the webinar to ask all your questions. And Toby from our product team is available, and he will respond to all your questions right away. And we will highlight some of these questions during our Q&A round later. So really quick about me. I'm Mika. I'm one of the co-founders of Superchat and responsible for everything around the product. Yilmaz is my co-founder. We started working on Superchat 4 years ago. And we kind of saw that a lot of businesses, especially small and medium-sized businesses, were struggling to handle like all their customer communication. There are like a whole bunch of channels that you should be kind of available on, especially like support-wise for your customers. So it's kind of a really tough and challenging job to be available across all channels and kind of streamline all your customer communication and support. So we didn't really see tools that were tailor-made to messengers and to really have a plug-and-play solution that's very, very easy to use, without coding knowledge. And that's the reason why we started Superchat 4 years ago. And like the old messaging channels, like email and phone, got a little bit outdated, and consumers nowadays just expect more from businesses, and businesses should also be there with their customers now, of course, because otherwise you lose customers, and you want to have like really loyal customers that stick around to drive revenue, and that's why support across all these channels is super, super crucial. Now, 4 years in, we built the leading AI-powered WhatsApp business CRM, already powering over 4,500 customers around the globe to really streamline their customer communication, especially on WhatsApp, because it's like one of the preferred channels of the consumers, especially like in Europe, of course, and also, of course, Instagram, Facebook, and all the other channels that we are supporting. And why you should kind of listen to me today? It's a kind of a good question. I spent the last year just like really immersed in everything kind of, related to AI. And I onboarded like over 50 of you to really like see the chatbot in action and really kind of figure out how to use the chatbot like in very, very different business contexts, in support, sales, recruiting. And set up the chatbot that we built with like some of you that got early access and kind of really figured out a way how we can build like a super, super powerful chatbot that can really automate like a lot of things. But that we will take a closer look at when we jump into the product. Now that kind of the intro, now to the main part. And now I want you to imagine a world where your entire support is fully automated. Like, your customers like coming up with all the same questions every time again and again. When are you open? Do you have this? Do you have that? Especially like, after business hours, on holidays, you're on vacation. Super frustrating to always, have the pressure to, respond immediately, to really, have these customers like stick to you. And that's kind of a tough challenge. But nowadays with AI and softwares like Superchat, like you can actually build chatbots that do that fully automated and that work very, very reliable. So that's kind of what we will take a look at. And this is already possible today, but we will zoom out really quick and ask us two questions. The first one is kind of what has changed in customer communication and why has it changed? And then that's the second question is what role do, first of all, technology and then also specifically artificial intelligence play in this future? Before we then really look at Superchat and our AI chatbot, I want to cover this topic really quick because it's kind of good to have a big picture on all of this. So let's start with the communication revolution. So kind of everything started, of course, with, back in the days, a couple of decades ago, face-to-face, letters, landline, then, the transition phase from email, websites to mobile phones, and nowadays instant messaging apps like WhatsApp, Instagram, and the like. And we talk to a lot of businesses and see a lot of, how they use, different channels. And what we are seeing is that like really the customers are like our customers, but the businesses that adapt these new channels really thrive, while the ones that are not adapting, like the channels that their end customers are using, are kind of, being left behind, which we, of course, don't want. That's the reason also why we built Superchat. We really want to have a very easy plug and play solution for everyone, tech savvy, not tech savvy, to just get you started across all channels and just, streamline your entire customer communication. So kind of what are the forces driving this transformation? Here it's basically three critical factors that we should take a look at. The first one is, of course, consumer behavior. We all know the saying, the customer's king, and this is nowadays truer than ever before. Customers nowadays have like their smartphone and they have access to a lot of information and then also, of course, to a lot of options. So, if you are not responding immediately, if you're, not like always up to date with everything and not responding quickly, it's like super, super easy for customers and consumers to just go to your competitor. Therefore, we want to make sure that your customer communication is really spot on and really streamlined and best case, very, very automated so that we can always get back to your customers right away. Then second of all, technology advancements. Every couple of decades, there are like huge leaps in technology and we can leverage this technology in order to actually meet these customer expectations. And that's kind of what we should really do. And last but not least, market competition. That's kind of the driving force, for all of this with like a customer expectation. So of course, your competitors don't sleep. They also listen to your customers, listen to their customers, and they also are, using new technologies in order to always improve. And you should do the same. Now we should also, the second step, look at the technology revolution. That's really quick. So basically everything started with the internet, revolutionizing information access and communication that then, leading to Web 2.0 with, having like very enhanced user interactivity and collaboration. And that kind of turned into iPhones of having both of these internet at, interactivity, marketplace, and all of these things in the internet, in our pockets with the iPhone and in general smartphones, which is super, super powerful. But with that, of course, customer expectations are also again rising because they are connected to friends and businesses, all the time. So they really always, expect very immediate responses. So that's kind of the pressure is on the businesses to really respond with the right information at the right time, kind of keep these customers and keep them also like for a long time, very loyal customers. That's what we should really look into. So now we are entering a new era, and that's the era of artificial intelligence. And there are many, many experts that say that AI is about to surpass all previous technology advancements. So that's very, very crucial for us because we should leverage this new technology to really enhance like kind of all the problems that we have. And for us, it's like really support and enhance like kind of the user experience for our customers. That's especially relevant for support. Why is that the case? Because of two things. AI is just super, super good at, first of all, problem solving, and it's super, super good with customer communication. We all know ChatGPT, so it's like super, super good to, take a lot of data, a lot of knowledge, and actually solve problems and then put this into wording and writing. So that's the reason why we should really look into this today, because otherwise your competitors will, and then you are like kind of left behind. So there's currently, a lot of things going on, like in customer communication and support, which is super exciting, also sometimes overwhelming, but we made like AI like accessible to all of you with our new AI feature. So again, basically, sure, what we've learned is there are like huge, huge technology advancements now with AI. We should really use that technology to kind of meet the rising customer expectations to, kind of always be one step ahead and have an edge over our competitors. Now, last thing that we should look at before actually going into the product is like, what do customers nowadays actually expect? Customers, first of all, really want support that's available day and night, 365 days per year, and really on weekends, kind of every time, just like always on. They want responses that are immediate. They want support that's everywhere across all channels from WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram. So like really where they communicating. They want support that speaks the language. They want support that is very sharp and consistent. And they also, last but not least, want support that feels like chatting to a real human and not chatting to like a robot, for example. So this seems like a super, super big challenge, like almost not possible to achieve. But with Astro, we actually make this possible because with Astro, our new AI chatbot within Superchat, you have your own chatbot that works across all channels, that responds within 500 milliseconds, that provides real-time context of everything for everything because it has all your customer data and all your company data at hand at any given moment. It feels superhuman that you even forget that you are chatting with a chatbot and it's 24/7 available. And last but not least, it actually speaks over 52 languages. So that almost sounds too good to be true. So like here, before we jump into the product, I have an example from you. Like our customer, Oliver Hackney, managing director from Solar Glass, Premium Solar Glass, was so nice to let me use his screenshot from a conversation from their chatbot that's powered by Superchat and their customer. And here you can see the customer wrote, he didn't respond for a while, and then he just said like, sorry for the late reply, but I had to take my motorcycle to the repair shop. And now kind of you see the response from the AI chatbot on WhatsApp in the white chat bubble. And here in the beginning, it actually references kind of the situation of the end customer saying, hey, no problem, that can happen. I hope your motorcycle gets fixed quickly. And then at the very end, it actually, kind of uh, again, like says something about the motorcycle, saying good luck with the motorcycle repair and have a safe journey home. So as you can see, it's like super, super empathetic. It's like super, super human. Doesn't really feel like talking to a chatbot, which is super, super powerful. And then here, at also kind of the message, the chatbot writes, no matter when you can send the information, I'm ready to assist you. If you have any questions, I'm always happy to help. So he even says, hey, you can really write me any given moment. I will respond, which is super, super good. And last but not least, and that's like the most important and like kind of impressive part of all of this. It's like really the chatbot is incredibly, incredibly smart. Here, he providing very detailed context to the customer and the company kind of here in this case, there was a project, adding like installation for solar panels on the fourth floor. So he even says something, your safety and stability of installation are top priorities, especially considering windy conditions on the fourth floor. So as you can see, you really have all the knowledge at any given time. For humans always into the customer again. He just has it there, computing power super quick. So that's super, super powerful. All of that leads, of course, to really great results. Here are some results of like a whole bunch of customers that are currently already using our AI chatbots. We see 88% of inquiries that are fully automated across all channels. Only 6% of end customers actually asking for human help. There we have the safety mechanism. We kind of listen to when the end customer writes something in between the line, hey, I don't want to talk to a chatbot anymore. And then we can actually, kind of transfer this conversation to a human agent, and then, assign it to one of your users. But how that works, we will take a look at in a second in the product. And then, of course, incredibly fast response times, within 500 milliseconds. So there you really, give end customers, your customers are always feeling like very confident with your support. So that's also super, super important to have. So again, like actually this is kind of, you already an example of one of our customers using it for the last, couple of weeks. It works like really, really flawlessly. And that's now for you to use also, which is super exciting. And how does it work? So big picture, here you can see is how Astro works super, super simple. It kind of consists of two parts. So first of all, we have the prompt, and then we have the data knowledge. The prompt is basically the kind of thing that we are saying to the chatbot how he should behave and what he should do. I always say to customers during the onboarding is kind of imagine the chatbot being like just a normal employee during the onboarding that doesn't know that much about your company and about everything. In the prompt, you add all the things related to, hey, this is the way that you should work. This is the way how you should talk to the customers. Use emojis, don't use emojis, use formal language, use informal language. You do, support in these steps and so on and so forth. So like here you can be super, super detailed and super, unique to your business. Then data and knowledge is kind of the booklet that you are giving to your new employee in the beginning of the onboarding, saying, hey, this is all the company data. Please study this company data of, everything that you should know about our product and our services. And that's kind of the booklet that we are also giving to our AI chatbot. And then basically, adding data so that he's like super, super smart and knows everything about your business and your customers. And we built all of that, on top of our existing solution, so that work like seamlessly across channels, not only WhatsApp but also with all the other channels that we are supporting and providing. And it's like super, super easy to set up. So now enough talking. Now I will share my screen and we will actually take a look in Superchat to see how easy it is to set this up. So let me share my screen. Here we go. Perfect. It works. Nice. So like for the like people watching today that are not customers yet of Superchat, today we will really only cover the AI chatbot and kind of, showing you an example, like our unit inbox, WhatsApp newsletter and so on, we won't touch. Just a heads up. So let's go into the settings. So like here you already see on the left hand side the new tab AI chatbot. Really quick heads up. So basically how all of this works is we set up the AI chatbot in the settings. There we can train it, we can test it, but there we won't make it accessible to your end customers yet. That we do our automation tool, where we then just have a new node that we can use that's called AI chatbot to make it actually accessible to your customers. But I will show both. And today we will look at an example of Spotify, like the music app support bot. So what we basically will do is we create an AI chatbot on WhatsApp that can answer all the questions related to Spotify. So let's get into it. Here we'll first click on AI chatbot. Now, the first thing that I have to do is actually provide a name. This is really only for internal purposes. So like here, I will I will say support, Spotify, one, continue. And the second step, this is actually the prompt that I mentioned earlier. So here again, it's like imagine again a new employee starting at your company. Here we will now really specifically say how the chatbot should behave, what he should do, and then in the next step we will actually upload the data and the knowledge. Here you can see how do other companies use the AI chatbot. So here are more examples. So here you can see three kind of, prompts that we already pre-configured for you that can just use out of the box. So here one for sales, one for support, and one for recruiting. I will click on the recruiting one really quick. And as you can see here now, it's like a long prompt, just like really saying, hey, you're an experienced support staff with over 15 years of experience and so on and so forth. And here, everywhere there is an X, you have to put in your information. So your goal is to understand the customer problem with, whatever you are doing in your business, and then you can configure it to your needs. Then one more thing, here we have a QR code. If you scan that QR code, you're redirected to WhatsApp. And behind that is actually, again, WhatsApp chatbot that we set up for you. And that chatbot is just configured in a way where he will help you to actually, like basically define your prompt. So he will ask you a whole bunch of questions, what you want to use the chatbot for, what you are doing in your business, what is your target group, and so on and so forth. And then at the very end, if it has all the data, it will come up with the perfect prompt that you can then just use for your own AI chatbot in Superchat. So very, very handy. So here again, we won't use any of these now. I actually already prepared something. We will go over it and we'll copy and paste it really quick. So again, we are building a Spotify support bot. So let's go over the prompt that we prepared. So we are first saying, hey, act like a friendly and experienced Spotify customer support agent named Lee. Your goal is to understand the customer's problem and provide clear step-by-step instructions to resolve it. Always introduce yourself at the beginning of each conversation so the customer knows who they are chatting with. And then the next step, so like the first part is like really, we are giving the chatbot a name, kind of a personality. We specifically say how he should behave, what he should do by, introducing herself in this case in the beginning. So we can be very, very specific what the chatbot should do. And then here in the next step, we just really like define how he should work. So like it should be like really a process step by step. The first one should, hey, start the conversation with a friendly greeting and ask how you can help. For example, hi, this is Lee from Spotify. How can I assist? Then in the next step, summarize the customer's issue and ask clarifying questions to gather more information. Third, offer a brief solution with detailed implementation instructions. And then last but not least, after proposing a solution, ask if it resolved the problem. For example, did the solution fix the issue? That's it. So as you can see, super, super easy. You have to kind of put what you want in writing, say explicitly to the chatbot what you want to do with him. So then we click on continue, and here we now provide the chatbot with knowledge or data, and that we can do in two ways. First of all, we can upload documents like PDFs. Here, the practice is to have a PDF configured with FAQs. So like kind of what we have is like frequently asked questions with like questions answer pairs. Here, what I always suggest is like really look at your customers. What are they asking over and over and over again? And then you can say, hey, this is the question. This is the answer. For example, what are your opening days? Like times, and then you just put it like in writing, and then you can, you can add more and more questions over time. But like this way, it's like super, super easy to train the chatbot. You will also see in a second, you can update the knowledge at any given moment. So here you can really every day kind of train your chatbot to become better and better and better. Then the second option is actually at your website. So like your website is usually the resource with all up-to-date data and information, because that kind of always has to be up to date, because otherwise your customers are getting confused. So what we are doing here is you can just provide a link to your website, and then we go to your website, kind of, get all the data, and then you can make it in the next step accessible to the chatbot. So like also super, super easy and very convenient. Then you don't have to, in the beginning, spend time actually preparing the FAQ, the PDF. So it's just like super easy to get started. I will show you really quickly how this is done. We will now just like use the Spotify website really quick. So I just add it here and then say add, and now we are already, kind of doing our job in the background. And now I can already click on continue. Now, like the chatbot is being trained, it takes a second, and now, ta-da! Now it's already here. Yeah, and now I click on test your AI chatbot. And now here in the video, we will like really briefly explain again, hey, you set up the chatbot, but it's not accessible for your customers yet. That we have to do in the next step in automations, but we will get to that in a second. So here we are now in the detail setting part of the AI chatbot that we just created. So here again, you can kind of update all the data that we just provided from, the internal name that you can see here to the prompt. And then also here we have the knowledge. So here files, we haven't uploaded any files, so that's empty. And the website, and here you can already see the website was already scraped. And then here is basically the test environment. And what I always suggest to everyone setting up an AI chatbot is basically create it and now spend, a little bit of time in this test environment, actually testing your chatbot. And then you can tweak it with your knowledge that you're giving to the chatbot and with, kind of changing and updating the prompt. So now here we can say, hi there, I have a problem. The app is not loading. And here the cool part is, out of the box, the chatbot really understands all languages. So if I start writing here in Mandarin, like Spanish, Italian, it will respond right away in that given language. So here I just said, hey there, I have a problem. The app is not loading. And Lee, our customer support bot from Spotify, answers, hi, this is Lee from Spotify. I'm sorry to hear that you are having trouble with the app. I'm here to help. First, let me summarize your issue. The Spotify app is not loading for you. Is that correct? To assist you better, I have a few following up questions. First, are you using the app on a mobile device, tablet or desktop? Second, have you recently updated the app, and so on and so forth? So as you can see, by even not providing that much, like instructions in the prompt, it already works like a, professional support bot. It's like someone with a lot of experience, like perfect, no grammar issues. It's like spot on, asking the perfect questions, introducing yourself. It's like exactly kind of how we set it up. So that works. As soon as you're confident with your chatbot in the test environment, then we kind of can go over to the second part, and that's actually making the AI chatbot accessible in automations. So what we will do here now is like I go back, I go into our automation builder, I will create a new automation. So again, for everyone who's not using Superchat so far, like also like our automation builder can do a whole bunch of things, like can set up marketing sequences, workflows, chat flows, and now also very sophisticated chatbots powered by AI. But I will really only go like very briefly today just on the topic of AI and nothing else. So like here, let's go ahead and create one really quick. So what I will do here is I will make the AI chatbot accessible for this WhatsApp number. Here again, can basically use it across all channels. So I could make it accessible for my live chat, for Facebook, for email, and so on and so forth. And then it will start if the message of the customer contains this word question. So then we know the customer has a question, and then we initiate the AI chatbot. Sub. So now really quick explained what happens here is like, a new message comes in through this WhatsApp number that I specified here. Then we will take a look at the message. does this message contain the keyword question? If that's the case, then like the customer will start talking to the AI chatbot. In all other cases, nothing will happen. So here we now have a whole bunch of kind of configuration things that we can do. So we'll zoom in. So here on the right-hand side, we first of all, of course, have to define what AI chat the customer now should talk to. So like here we set up the, how did I call it? Spotify something. We have like too many in here. Support Spotify 1. Perfect. So that's selected. Now, next, that's optional. We can add more, like more instructions basically. So run guide is basically, you can think of it like an extension of the prompt that we just created in the settings, of the 4 steps. Here, basically the use cases, you can create one generic chatbot saying, hey, you are a support bot behaving this and that way. And then here we kind of can extend the prompt of saying, now you are specifically doing this or specifically doing that, and so on and so forth. So basically just an extension of the prompt that we created. So now here next, user input expires in 12 hours here in our case. That we also already know from our waiting for reply node. So like here we always need kind of, an ending to the automation, because otherwise the automation will never end. So here, if the customer hasn't replied for 12 hours, we could either continue the automation with, adding another action here, or otherwise just like nothing will happen and the automation will end. Of course, we can update this to, 100 days or whatever, our use case is, but usually like 12 hours is like you can keep it like this. Exactly. Then two really, really cool things at the bottom right. First of all, human handover. I kind of already touched on that a couple of minutes ago. So pay attention to here. So if I enable it, you can see here, there's another connector, basically for us, like allowing us to add another follow-up action. And what basically happens here is we are listening to the customer and if the customer writes something in between the lines of like, hey, I don't want to talk to a bot anymore, or I want to be connected to like a human agent, then we identify this, and then you can continue the automation maybe as follows. Usually the use case is there, no problem. No problem. We will connect you to an agent ASAP. And then in the next step, we can even assign the conversation to, one of our support members, let's say Claire, and then click be notified and can call the customer, can respond just like manually. Then that's all solved. Then we always have like fallback option. If anything happens, then like kind of we can also manually step in and help out the customer. And then there was one more thing, also really, really for support specifically. As you can see here, automatic call recognition, a little bit of a weird name. But basically what this is, I just had a customer earlier today, and they be renting out like rental house for vacation houses. They are like usually, a lot of people are asking, hey, I don't have any fresh towels anymore. Where can I get new ones? And then the AI chatbot answers, hey, always go to the floor, just grab a new towel there and there. The issue is resolved afterwards. Then the chatbot comes back to the customer and asks, hey, is everything fine, or do you have any other questions? And if the customer then says no, everything is good, we kind of know that everything was resolved. And what we now might want to do, again, pay attention to here, enable this. We have a connector when the conversation has ended. In that case, it has ended. We can just mark it as done. So mark conversation is done. That's super handy, especially businesses with a lot of conversations. Kind of keep everything, especially like the inbox organized. So that's like a more small feature that's definitely very helpful, especially like in the support use case. So that's it basically. So that's like basically it's super, super easy. Again, setting up the chatbot in the settings within a couple of minutes, testing it. Then when you're confident that it works, just go into automation to make it accessible to your customers on the channels where you want to use it. And now we will actually take a look at one automation that we prepared. It's very, very similar to what we did, also as a very similar, pretty much the same AI chatbot. So here again, if the customer writes hi Spotify, then we have like one welcoming message here with a nice image and saying, hey, welcome to Spotify Hub. How can I help you today? Choose one of the four actions below and we will do the rest. And then one is support, the other one is change subscription, and then one discover Spotify. We only built the automation so far that we are doing, like kind of this part here, but you can, extend it as you like. So when the customer clicks on support, then we basically start the conversation with the AI chatbot. And we will take now a look at how it looks like in our unified inbox. So here you can see I also already grabbed the conversation. So here you can see that's me. Hi, Spotify. I already know every time you set up an automation, we will provide you with a WhatsApp me link and the QR code. And then you can either add the WhatsApp me link to your website, when people click on it and they are redirected right to WhatsApp, where the keyword that we specified, in our case, hi Spotify, is preferred. And then all the customer has to do is send it, and then the automation is already started and triggered. And then with the WhatsApp QR code, it's the same thing. You, as the end customer, can scan the QR code, then you are redirected to WhatsApp again with the keyword pre-filled. You send it, and then the automation is triggered. So here in that case, I already did that. I received the first message saying, "Hey, welcome to Spotify Hub. What do you want to do?" Now I will grab my phone really quick and maybe the um, start the chat. Let's see here. Support. And now the conversation is also already getting started. And here the AI chatbot also already has responded saying, hi, this is Lee from Spotify. How can I assist today? So let's respond with, like a question saying, what's up? Let's say, hi Lee, where do I have to go from here to create a new playlist? And I even attached like an image of a playlist, Spotify app. Mm, and here really quick, the cool part is like the AI that can scan images and PDFs. So it like really can read content and can say, hey, always ask for a driver license for the customer, and then it can even identify whether the customer sent a driver license, or in case if it sent a personal ID card, then it can say, hey, this is not a driver license, please send me a driver license. Then we can even extract data from the PDF or from the page. So it's super, super powerful. So here, as you can see here, our good Lee AI chatbot even recognized that this is a screenshot, saying thanks for providing the screenshot to create a new playlist where you are, follow these steps. So it's super, super handy. Again, I'm in context because the AI chatbot knows where I am in the product, providing very specific step-by-step instructions from where I have to go now and saying, hey, go back to your library, tap on the Bibliothek. It's like German, it even recognized that the screenshot is in German, but the bottom right of your screen, create a new playlist, and then iOS and how it works on Android, and so on and so forth. And then give it a try and let me know if it works for you. Did this solve your problem? That's amazing. Now I continue the conversation with something fun. Let's say this resolved my question. Now it will just ask me if she can recommend me any music based on my taste, because she kind of knows my taste now because I like shared the screenshot of my playlist. So can you guess my taste? Let's see. Here we go. Based on the songs in your playlist, it looks like you enjoy a mix of rock and alternative music. You've got Linkin Park and all these other things. It seems like you enjoy energetic and intense music with classic modern rock. Great taste. Is there anything else I can assist you with? Now let's actually ask for recommendations. now she knows my music taste. Now I also want to explore some new artists. So let's do that. Here we go. Can you recommend some new songs for my playlist? Here we go. Now a bit longer message. Absolutely, I love to recommend some songs for your playlist. Since you enjoy rock and alternative music, here are a few suggestions, and then basically all the music, all the artists that she came up with. I hope you enjoy these additions to your playlist. If you need any more recommendations or help with something else, feel free to ask. So as you can see again, like on everything that I touched earlier, it's like super, super impressive because again, the chatbot has all the data from, the prompt, from your knowledge and the customer intent at any given time. It even has access to the internet. So, in cases of you wanting to create a fitness coach or like a travel agent, you don't even need to provide any data because as, OpenAI, ChatGPT, she knows, kind of the weather, all the touristy attractions in Paris. So you can even just add a prompt saying, hey, you're a travel agent. And then me as the end customer can write, hey, I'm currently in Paris on the weekend. It's raining. What can I do? And I don't like museums. And she will come up with the perfect itinerary. So it's super, super powerful. And you can really be very, very creative in building your very, very own chatbot, especially like in the support case, of course, super, super handy. And we see like very, very great results with this. So that was it to a product demo. I will stop sharing my screen really quick. So, and now we can also already talk about the pricing. So now you're probably asking yourself, hey, Mika, how is the pricing? How does the pricing work? So really, really good news here because we made it accessible without any additional costs already in the professional plan and all the other plans above. In the professional plan, you have one AI chatbot included and 500 AI responses, and then in higher plans even more. And then the good part is you don't have to upgrade in the higher plans in order to buy more chatbots or more AI responses. These you can easily add to your existing plan just by buying the add-on. So we have an add-on for AI chatbots and we have an add-on for the AI responses. For everyone who isn't a customer yet, also really good news is you can use our 14-day trial to test our entire platform with all the premium features completely for free. So you have AI chatbot, you have AI responses, you have integration, so on and so forth. So you can really, use it for 14 days and kind of, see how good it is and how it works, and then decide whether, kind of the investment makes sense for your business or not. For everyone basic, we also have good news for you. You can set up the chatbot already in the settings without any cost, and you can try it out. So you can really set it up, test it, and see for yourself how good it is, and then decide yourself whether you want to make the investment to upgrade to professional or not. And then once you make the upgrade, you can then make it accessible to your customers. So I guess now start with a little Q&A round. First question from Steph. Can I connect the chatbot to my calendar? This is not possible yet, but we are already looking into it. Definitely, it's like a big kind of technical challenge because as soon as the AI chat overrides or has write access to any external tool, that kind of can get dangerous. So we are already exploring that topic, but there's not a timeline yet on when we will deliver it. The next question: can the chatbot extract information through a third-party management system? Yes, it can. So basically, how that works is super powerful with the combination in automations of HTTP requests. So we have a node, it's called HTTP request, where you can make a request to an external tool. Let's say you're an e-commerce player, then you are using Spotify or like a different CRM. What you can do then is make a request to Spotify, for example, get all the data from that customer, and then make this data accessible through the run instructions, like kind of the extension that I showed you from the prompt. accessible to the chatbot. Super, super handy because then the chatbot, not only knows like everything from your customer through the conversation it had with the customer, but it also has all the customer data from external tools, which makes it like a game changer. Then it's like really super, super, super powerful. Next question from Steph, and can I use the chatbot on my website? Exactly. It really works across all channels. So like we have our live chat that you can create in our inbox, and then we have this web chat widget, and then you can add all the communication channels in there. And the live chat is the thing where you can just message with customers and with businesses right on the website. You can also just use that in automations, use the live chat there, and then it also works flawlessly in our live chat. Also, really quick, in the meantime, for like we get new questions, we will continue like after the AI summit. We had like a break of like 2 weeks with our like I think bi-weekly automation webinars that will be happening every 2 weeks, where we will just sit down. I think it's every Wednesday and really look into automations, but now specifically also always automations in combinations with the chatbot because there we can explore so much because now really everything is possible within Superchat, which is great news. But then you get even more input on, how to leverage the AI chatbot also for your business. Here, next question from Faris. What does the response mean on each price bracket? Is that responses per chat? Exactly. So basically, like the response limit, so in professional, we have 500 responses included. Every time that bot sends a message, that's one response. And you have 500 included. If you can just purchase more, please keep it in mind there because their customers are always, hey, why does it cost money? Like we also have costs with that because it's not free, also not fast. So, by us already giving you 500, we have additional costs with that. So at some point, we just need to charge for these responses. But again, try it out. We see like great, like you save so many resources by just having a chatbot like, Astro in place that it's like really definitely worth the investment. So just try it and I'm pretty sure you will be convinced. Next question from Steph. You have any tutorials or support material? Exactly, that's kind of the email that we are sending out to you later. There we have a help center article that email or Toby maybe be quick. Um, um, that basically covers everything. So like there really everything, how to set it up, best practices, you can use it, and so on and so forth. And we even really cool videos. It's like 3 quick video tutorials on covering everything that you need to know in order to get started with the chatbot. Here we go. Again, thank you very, very much on taking your time to join us today. It was great fun. I hope you learned something, and I'm super, super excited to see how you are using the chatbot, in your business. And if you have any questions, just like really write our live chat. Please go ahead and watch the YouTube like videos that we created on the AI chatbot that you can find in our help center article that Nima just shared. Um, and again, we will do more webinars in the coming weeks about this entire topic. There you can ask even more questions live. We can build some of your use cases even live. So there we really want to do a lot of knowledge, like, give you a lot of input so that you can really use it for your own business. Because again, super powerful. It's kind of up to you how you use it. Again, thank you very much. And I guess have a nice rest of the day and hopefully see you soon. Bye bye.